broadcasting from Lake Norman and Davidson, while serving all of North and South Carolina to the Florida coast and the Tennessee mountains. They are the Mortgage Planners, the Carolina's #1 real estate and mortgage radio, a premium lending experience with a planning approach that focuses on building wealth. Ranked top in the nation for over 3 generations, with well over $1 billion in closed mortgages and 3-time best-selling author. Here are your hosts, Brad and Jacob Roche.
Welcome to The Plan. This is Brad Roche, the Mortgage Planner, 704-412-2727. Thanks for joining us. Jacob Reck in the studio. How are you?
Good. Doing well.
We're rocking and rolling. Weather's nice. We got mortgages happening. We got a good topic today.
Yes, sir.
The 3 Ds of mortgages.
What are the 3 Ds?
Yeah, good. Glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. One of them is debt. One's divorce and one's down payment. We're going to break those down. You're going to ask me how those go together.
I did.
You get married, you're going to need a down payment.
Yep.
You get divorced, you're going to need somebody to help handle it. And there's some complications that can happen to a lot of people's score I want to talk about where we handle that a little bit more delicate, right? And also debt. That's one of the reasons it leads to divorce. One of the top reasons.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about making sure that you keep that under control as debt managers, managing your mortgage. This is the plan. Welcome to the show. We've got a cool listing that is about to hit the market, and it is one of a kind that you can get now. It's actually, I would call it coming soon right now. Yeah. Priced at $945,000 out of the gate. It's 109 Trent Pines, Mooresville, North Carolina. Principal and interest on that is about $47.80 per month. You're also going to be that's a 20% down. $3,000 lender credit from Element Home Loans.
Good deal.
Out Perth Road. Take a left out there at Fern Hill, depending if you're coming from the school, Lake Norman High School, down Perth, go out a little way, almost to Troutman. A lot of new development out that way.
28117 zip code.
Yeah, beautiful area, beautiful house. Downsizing is the reason the people are moving. Found something else as the kids have moved out. And I decided instead of downsizing, I'm changing your bedroom. I did.
So what? Movie room? Or?
Oh, dude. I was thinking, I got a ping pong table in one of them now. The other one, I'm going to dial into an office and have it really nice. So the downstairs is just going to be,
Yeah, you can either...
You're out of there.
You can either downsize or man cave it up.
You ain't coming back.
Yeah, no.
No, you ain't coming back. So 704-412-2727, direct dial to the plan. We've got a cool property. If you want to see more of the properties, we've got 3 other ones that are listed on there. Anywhere between $1,500, $3,000 credit. Premier property spotlights. You don't want to miss those. And we'll handle the financing for you. Every week, guaranteed by noon, you get a Tuesday update. I think that's a big deal, especially as you're going through the market and different things that are happening on the mortgage side. But 3 Ds of mortgages.
Yeah, I think starting off probably best would be debt.
Yeah, most people do. Most people do. That's most, if I had to say debt, down payment, and divorce, most people start at debt, unfortunately. Yeah. Some get to down payment, and some, but see, divorce can lead to debt as well. So debt, this is a sensitive topic, especially with interest rates around 20% on credit cards.
Yep.
That's expensive money.
We saw on average, we pulled a statistic that said 20.71%
That's the average?
Is the average credit card rate.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, so it takes a while. If you're paying minimum payments on things like that, it takes a while. Or just a simple thought as people look at their debt, I want to mention, if you've got 4 or 5 credit cards, I'm not suggesting rolling them into a mortgage. I am suggesting, though, don't prepay on all of them.
Yeah.
Don't spit it, spatter. You know what I'm saying? Don't spit it out. Let's take so let's give you an example. You got 4 credit cards out there. Each one has a $5,000 balance. Each one has a $100 minimum payment. So you decide to pay $200 on each one. But I pay extra. Everyone who comes in to get a mortgage from us, I say, what's your debt? Oh, I have this payment. This is the amount I owe, and this is my payment. But I pay more than that. They always say that really quick right after it. And the point being is they're working towards their debt. Okay, cool. I got that. But if we do 100 or 200 on every one of them, like we're trying to get somewhere, that's what I mean by spitting.
Yeah.
I'd much rather go 100, 100, 100. What would 4? 4. Yeah, right.
Something like that.
And then we keep going.
They call it the snowball effect. I learned that when I was in school, actually. It's starting out with...
They don't teach that in school.
Yeah, they do. They did,
come
actually.
on, man. That's extra credit.
It was a very brief portion of my learning.
I would say spend more time, buddy.
That was like about first week. But they talked about starting off with your biggest debt and then snowballing it from there, or smallest, however you want to look at it.
I'd go smallest.
I agree.
Knock them out so you free up the minimum payments.
Yeah, exactly. So start with the smallest, and then you knock that one out, move on to the next credit card, onto the
smallest balance, not smallest interest rate.
Yeah.
See, some people will say, well, I have this one's at 10, this one's at 20. If you got multiple of them, you want to attack the smallest one, get rid of that minimum payment, because that one that you're thumping it all on, you're going to grab an extra $60 every time you pay something off, or an extra $100 when one clears out.
Yeah, exactly.
So debt can, what other statistics? Do you have anything else on the debt?
The average American household carries $101,915 in total debt, which includes mortgages, student loans, and credit cards, which I personally thought that was kind of low.
Yeah, right?
For
Why do you think?
Having a mortgage?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Like if you have call it $200,000 house and you have a $150,000 mortgage, you're already over that.
They're either paid it down or they're living in like campers.
Or they bought.
Do you remember me showing you pricing? I was showing you the FHA limit back when I had started from a workbook we had. It was like 89,000. You can't get a house for 89,000.
Yeah, the good old days. And that statistic I just brought up was from the Federal Reserve of 2023. So
it's accurate. Well, then it has to tell you. I guess they're spreading it all over the U.S., right? But it also would tell you that a lot of people have a lot of equity.
Yeah, I think there's a big range of people that have their house paid off to then first-time home buyers, and then those with in the middle that
paid off mortgages.
Yeah,
I think there's a good amount. So it allows you to at least look at the numbers on a debt consolidation using your mortgage. The problem nowadays is that I'm at 3%, and that would freak me out to give it away. You're not going to probably see it again, is what everybody says. However, if it improves your financial situation, we were running some numbers, just playing around. We'll post these at fortheplan.com, but we took someone who got a house, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I think it was like 5.
Yeah.
And we ran it at a 3% interest rate that they've been paying it down. So they got about 25 years left. But then we also took about 5, 6 credit cards, a car. It's about $1,500 in debt, monthly debt, consumer debt. And we said, okay, let's pay that off and pull 20 grand in cash and put them at 7%. Do you know that they came out within about $80 monthly, but 20 grand in there? So the monthly payments only were was about the same.
Yeah.
Monthly payment was about the same. Their payoff period, because I said, well, take the savings, like they were saving a little bit of money. I said, take that and pay it on the mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't much. It was like $143 savings. So it wasn't a big hit, in other words. Yeah. Well, so they paid that off, paid it every month. They pay it every month. We show up being prepaid on it. So their years, they were on a 25-year payoff, right? Remember, they got it 5 years ago. By paying an extra $140 on the new loan at 7%, they're at the same payoff period.
Oh, wow.
25 years. However, so what was the difference? This is what I'm getting at. What was the difference? $20,000 in their pocket.
Yeah. And also, I
no
think
debt.
Well, 140 doesn't sound like that much savings monthly, but when you look at it over the 30-year loan, if you're prepaying on it, I mean, that's a tremendous amount of savings.
Let's be real. Let's be real. You got all your debt is consolidated. I gave up. Forget the 3%, 7%. I pay the same amount monthly. I'm going to pay it all off in the same amount of time. 25-year term, 25-year term left. I save an extra. That's saving $140. So we're already using that. We won't count that monthly. But listen. Do you sleep better with 20 grand in the bank?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm getting at. So there's a part of changing the stress level when you manage your debt as well.
Yeah, keeping the same payment, but you got 20 grand. You got an extra comfort there.
I feel like I'm getting further ahead, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
of course you do. So that's one example of restructuring that wasn't monumental, but made a lot of sense. So if you'd like an example of that, well, again, we'll have that posted at the plan, for the plan, not the plan. We got the plan here, but you're going to fortheplan.com, and we're going to commercial break. We'll see you in just a few.
Welcome back to The Plan. Your host, Jacob Roche, joined here in the studio with Brad Roche, the mortgage planner, fortheplan.com. 704-412-2727 is our direct dial. Now,
get to it.
Yeah, for the plan.
The big one.
Oh.
The 3 Ds, baby.
Divorce.
Oh, that's not the. I was just talking about the title of the show.
Oh, that's you're going to the next segment.
No, man. I was like, what else you got to tell them? You know how to get a hold of us by now. You go to fortheplan.com. So divorce, delicate subject.
Yeah, first talked on debt. Now we're going into divorce. It is a tough subject.
So if you're listening and arguing a lot about this in a married couple, why don't you make a call and see what options there are?
Yeah.
That's what I'd tell you.
Well,
At least know what it is.
Starting out with debt, I mean, it really, it'll lead it right into divorce.
Yeah. That's how they kind of
Yeah.
correlate.
Yeah,
The
there it
3
is. There's the correlation. You had mentioned
got
earlier.
it now?
Yep.
I mentioned that earlier to you. Okay. So delicate way to do it. Now, there are some statistics behind this, and I want to share. Nearly 50% of divorced couples face disputes over shared real estate. That's from American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers. That's their specialty, 2023. So, 50% of them are arguing about the property. And what ends up leading to that is post-divorce, 61% of women stay in the family home compared to 32% of men. So typically the woman is going to stay home, maybe raise the children there is what it sounds like. There's a huge issue as you go through financial strains in a divorce situation, long or short, of who pays what and when, and credit can become an issue, credit scoring.
Yeah.
And so when you enter into something you've already decided, obviously, to get a divorce. If there's equity in the house, or you have an equity line that could manage the debt while you guys are going through it, come up with a plan. We can recommend some different ways of financially situating you to help you through the journey, and not argue about it while you get there, and maybe use some of the marital equity to carry the bills while you guys can, figure it out. I was going to say argue about it, but figure it out with your attorney. That's one way we can help. We also can help besides a discounted mortgage, because if you're staying in the house, you need to refinance and take the other person off. The ex-spouse to be needs to come off. A lot of people say, well, can't I just take them off the deed? Well, they need to come off the note as well, which is the promise to repay. So they're coming off both of those. So do you have to refinance? Yeah, you have to get them completely off. So if you're at a 3% getting a divorce, you got to redo it.
Yeah.
And usually they give you 6 to 12 months.
Oh.
I think sooner the better is one way to look at it, and then take a 5-year pledge. But then you can clean the slate and clear out any equity. So if you are, like we had mentioned, 61% of the women stay in the family home compared to 32% of men, there's a refinance there, taking the husband off, assuming you qualify. There are loans for no employment, but you have to have equity in the home that we can still put together for you. But then it would become a monthly issue because the interest rate's higher. Yeah. I'm walking you through a few scenarios here, but as you go from new house, you've got the husband, typically 31% of the husbands stay in the house, so 70% of them are moving.
Yeah.
We would do a mortgage on the new house using some of the equity share that they would get from the marital home. So we're doing 2 mortgages.
And they're hence discounts.
There's discounts, and we're also going to keep it confidential. Your loan is your loan, and we're going to, the terms of your loan are your loan, and we keep it clean that way. But a lot of it is able to close simultaneously. Money's transferred between attorneys properly. It makes the job a lot easier. While it's delicate, I think you have to have a professional who can step in and give options to make it easier so you don't trash your credit. That's the easiest way I can say
agree.
it. So what do you think of that?
I mean,
ugly subject.
It is. It's not a fun subject to talk on, but obviously, I don't think that many people do know. As getting a divorce, do you need to go and get somebody off the mortgage? And the answer is, if you need to go and buy a new house, I would say yes. Typically, most scenarios, you do need to get them off the mortgage to make that the income work and things like that.
I'd tell you, first, a lot of people get a divorce. They've come to us and they end up buying another house. I'd tell you, in the next 12 months, if you're moving, it may just be a good option to rent.
Yeah, just for a little bit.
Makes it hard, though, if you have kids, because you want to be close, so you tend to buy a house closer, and it's more of a home feeling like you had with the marital home. So there's a lot of emotion that goes into it. I think that's where options become solutions to keeping the credit intact.
I agree. One example that I think of that we helped out, a guy was getting divorced, and he wanted to move. He was renting at the time, like you had just said.
No kidding. He'd get a divorce and he wanted to move. Ding, ding, ding. We got that one. All right. Okay. He didn't want to live with her anymore.
So he went and bought an investment property, and he's going to rent it out for the next year and then assess his options at the end. So while you were renting, you may be renting right now, maybe in the future you're looking to own, but in the meantime you want to rent and see where things go.
He took his equity share and put it over there because he wasn't sure he wanted to live there.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's still invested in real estate, so he's not just SOL out of luck out of having that.
And to even brighten the example, he didn't have income at the time. I think he was going through an employment change. He was 1099, kind of complex. But
another twist.
Yeah, so no income either.
DSCR.
Yep.
All debt relief. We might as well mention what that is again.
It's using the projected rental income of a property to qualify for the mortgage, essentially.
On a divorced daddy that ain't got no job.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's still qualified.
Yeah, we can
credit
get it done.
Was intact, though. That's a big deal.
Exactly. Keeping the credit score.
I don't know if you can stress that enough, that's probably the worst part we see about it with a divorce, is that The credit is that's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst part because it takes so darn long to heal.
Yeah.
Not only is the emotional end of a divorce an issue, but also healing a credit score. It is a lot easier to get a good credit score, keep it good, than it is when it goes bad
Yeah.
because of something silly, a 30-day late or something like that, especially on $25 a month or something.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if we can help in any situation, or you or someone you know, 704-412-2727 is direct dial. We've got a couple exciting things that are coming up. We're not done with the 3Ds. We're going to take a little sidetrack and go off to some events that we're having right now. At least we have the at fortheplan.com, we have our networking event that happens in the morning on the lake. You're going to want to join us after the first of the year in January. We'll be doing that. Always a good time. And we've actually been doing them in the evenings with liquor and beer and things like that, wine.
We'll do coffee and breakfast.
Yeah,
this
we're doing
time.
coffee and a really good breakfast. So you're welcome to inquire at For the Plan on attending that if you are in the business and real estate and mortgages and sales in general. It's a good networking event to meet some of the leaders in the community. So that is held at Davidson, right off the exit there.
Another one,
North Harbor Club.
Another one that we got here on our website, fortheplan.com, like you mentioned, mortgage management. That's a big one for us. It tracks the value of your home and completely free to you. All we ask is for a shot at the next mortgage, right?
Not a lot of people do manage it, though, I think is what I want you to catch on that piece, though. That's why we offer it for free. It's a way of managing your biggest asset. That's like just saying, I got $500,000. Yeah, and then it's quiet, right? You got me?
Yeah.
I got $500,000. And what are you doing? Nothing. And you're burying it, and you're just not looking at your asset to use it in the best value. And as these storms may come up, whether it's a divorce or debt situation or illness that you need money out for, whatever it may be, there's solutions to it that can take the burden off or make it a lot lighter.
Yeah, exactly.
So mortgage management is a great tool. You actually can download the app on our website. There's a QR code, and download the app. It's free. Plug in your address. We will AI the crap out of that address is what they do.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, but what happens is you put the address in and AI goes nuts, and whatever that means, it figures out what you owe. First and second mortgage, all public data, recorded data. It knows the value of the house, scrubs it down to the stainless steels, appliances, and then you can also search houses on there as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. So be sure to check it out completely free to you. Just sign up for it.
Sign up for it. It is a good deal. We also have the Christmas Happy Holiday Charlotte edition on fortheplan.com. Save your time searching where to go this holiday season. And there's what's on there. We've got a few that are listed.
This is fun. Thanksgiving parade, Charlotte turkey trot, light the
That's
night.
not fun. I'm not a runner.
Yeah, it depends if you like to run. But yeah, no, the light the night.
That's fun.
And nights being
Down in the Charlotte Knight Stadium.
Night
You've been
Stadium
to that?
baseball, yeah.
You been?
Yeah, and when I lived down in the city, it was great.
I
All
bet
lit up.
that's a
and
zoo living down there like that.
It is. It's like I think it's Wednesday through Sunday. Be sure to check out the link to know the dates. Don't quote me on
I
that.
actually have a picture on well, you can go to the website and click it, and it's all the links right there, and you can grab it. We've got all these links there for you. It's the Holiday Happening Charlotte. You'll see candy canes on the website. What's another one that's on there? That one I really like. The turkey trot. I'm good, man.
Yeah, Southern Christmas show.
Angela would like that.
Yeah, that's our wives.
Southern Christmas show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal around here.
Yeah, our wives love it there.
Yeah, I think
every year.
a lot of women love it there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how many men go. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Would you go to that? I think that'd be crazy.
I'll be working. I think it's on a Wednesday.
I'll be working too. Yeah,
it does go for 2 weeks long. I think they do it on weekends, but go weekday. I heard it's not as busy.
Okay.
I think that's why our wives go.
They have a system. They have a system for getting. They've
been going for 10 years, so it's advice here through them.
But for those who I have not been. But for the ones close to me, I know have been. It's an unbelievable show, and they rave about it each year, and they look forward to it each year.
My grandma was telling me 10 years in a row they've been going now. So
wow.
Be sure to check it out.
What else is on there? Okay, so that's another good one.
The Polar Express train ride.
No, I'm not doing that either.
And then the winter.
You want to go do that together?
Winterfest. No.
We're go do a Polar Express plane. Where is that one at? Do you know?
What, the Polar Express?
Yeah, where do you do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Let's check it out. You click the link, and it should take you right to the website.
Let's see. It's located in Spencer, North Carolina.
Where's that? Well, we're gonna have to Google that.
Right around Charlotte. I know that.
No, it's not. I would have heard of it.
Spencer?
That's like saying, is it that close? I think I've heard of it.
I think so.
Maybe it is.
It's to the right of It's kind of Harrisburg area. I
Oh,
want to
okay,
say.
okay. Small little town. You can go check it out, and you're going to take a little ride on a train.
Again, check out the link because I'm not completely sure.
Now,
But
I've rode my motorcycle out that way. They do have train tracks. I'd like to know, is this a real deal? I'm going to have to look more into that. Was there anything else
the
listed?
last
Polar
one
Express?
was the Winterfest.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and that's at Carowinds. That's I believe it's something like
Too old for that.
Scarowinds type.
I'm
like,
too old for
yeah,
that.
That's fair. Me too.
It's sick, man. I can't ride the rides like that. I thought I was going to like a beer fest or something. I'm into that one.
I think it's
Plenty around. We're going to have to make sure we list those on the next show.
Yeah,
buddy.
true.
Beer and wine tastings, Christmas fest. They have a Christmas bar. Is that down in Mooresville again?
Yeah, I think that's coming back this year. That's always a good one.
And a line out the door, buddy. You can go
Yeah.
there at 4:00, I think it was last year, and there's a line out the door. So we're going to come back and take a quick break, but we're going to come back and talk about down payments and change the mood a little bit. We're going to talk about buying a house instead of splitting up a house and how you need down payments. And we're creating an easy to read guide if you're a first time home buyer as to what all the benefits. You know, everybody calls a first time home buyer. They say, is there any first time home buyer specials? And we're going to tell you about those that are standard in the industry so you know what to expect. You've been listening to The Plan. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back to The Plan. This is Brad Roach, joined with Jacob Roach, the mortgage planner, 704-412-2727. Direct dial, go to fortheplan.com, the number 4, or you can spell it if you want, F-O-R. Either one gets you there. You'll find us. We're here for you, the mortgage planners. We've been talking about the 3 Ds of mortgages and debt, divorce, and down payment. We're now going to talk about the fun one, which is down payment for you first-time home buyers, just getting married, ready to buy a house, exciting times, and then decorating a baby room. We'll take you through the whole journey. However, I want to draw you back to 109 Trent Pines, Mooresville, beautiful home. We got a special run at $945 will be the list price and $3,000 credit from Element Home Loans. Don't miss that property. They'll be having a grand opening here shortly. We are pre-announcing it, and I hope you can attend it if you're in the market for searching for that out in the Mooresville area. Great spot. But we've been digging into a couple past shows I want to draw attention to as well before we dig into the down payment part. We had Drew Webster on a couple weeks ago, and he's with Thrive Financial, and they do a great job of investing property, working with properties from the financial side. You know, they don't do the whole rental. They're not helping you buy a house, but they include it in the portfolio. It's a good show that you could check out about how to balance your portfolio a little bit. We also had Casey Hart on, investor realtor. She was on a couple weeks ago as well with Austin Barnett. She primarily focuses in on investment property purchases and building your portfolio. We work very well with her and helping a lot of clients in the Charlotte and surrounding areas buy property for investing. So if you're interested in either one of those shows or the holiday happenings that we just read through on our last segment, be sure to go to fortheplan.com. Mortgage Management was also there. Are we giving enough away? Is it Christmas yet?
Yeah, you got to be sure to check it out. We got a lot on there.
Man, that website's got it going on. 3 Ds of mortgages. We covered debt. We covered divorce. And we're here for you if we can help with either one of those or someone you know that may be going through one of those issues where we can look at their mortgage, look at helping them out with a situation that may be sensitive time in their life at 704-412-2727. Now we go to down payment.
Yep.
This is an easy one. You can go zero down, man.
Yeah, we got to.
What more do I need to know? You can go zero down.
Oh, I don't think a lot of people know that you can go zero down.
I think that's silly, man. You know how many people still think that you need 20% down for a house?
Yeah. I would like to know a statistic on that.
I would too.
How many people think
it's
it is?
one of the top Googled questions about a mortgage. How much do I need down? Do I need 20% down to buy a house?
The answer's no.
No.
You just pay mortgage insurance, typically.
Yeah, and as a first-time home buyer, you have incentives off mortgage insurance. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk down payment, though, and then we'll also talk insurance that goes with it. We're not talking home insurance. We're talking private mortgage insurance, PMI, a fee you pay until you have about 20% equity on most loans.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, I would say zero down. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. No down payment opposed to these 3% that you see. However, 3% is another option that we have. That's first-time home buyers. That's the only ones that can get it.
What's the best? So walk me through some zero down options. What's the good, bad, and ugly? So if I said, why wouldn't I go zero down?
I say it's kind of like a car, typically. I mean, the less money you put down, the more your interest rate and fees are going to be.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some more risk to the lender, so you're paying a little bit more if you do zero down.
Yeah.
They typically will do these in 2 different loans.
Yeah.
One loan is 3%, the 97%. The other one's a 3% second mortgage they tack on. Then we have ones that are a full 100%, or all of them really have a second.
So depending on your credit score, if you have I say 600 plus, but it always depends on late payments, collections, things like that. 0% down FHA, so 100% FHA, no down payment. Interest rate, let's say today they're at 7 roughly. So your second mortgage, or that 3.5% that would be needed to make it the 100%, is 2% higher.
They have options though. You don't even have to pay on the second mortgage, right?
So that's why I said bad credit score. We need 600 plus there roughly. Now, if you have 700 plus credit score, that is a good zero down, I would say. And it's called NC Housing, and I think that's there's select lenders that have it throughout North Carolina, and I would say
we got it.
Yep, we got it.
That for you.
We have that, and it's $15,000 that can go towards closing costs,
That's
down
crazy.
payment. Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
1% fee. It's a really good deal. So in terms of zero down or 100% FHA, I wouldn't say is great, but it does give you the option with a lower credit score to get into a home.
So really,
no
the
cost.
only reason I wouldn't take that other one is because my credit score might be lower. So how low can we go?
I would
How
say
low
about
can we
600
go?
plus, but I mean, if we can get 700 plus, we can get you NC Housing, which is really $15,000 to you at zero interest and forgivable after 15 years, which don't have to
Beautiful.
pay it back.
Now, if your credit stinks, how do you get approved when you can be pretty low and still get zero down?
Yeah.
Do you know how low we go?
They say 600 plus.
So 600, we can
but
go
if you have
601.
40 late payments, it's not, that doesn't help. Things like that, collections, we probably won't see approval there. But if you have a 600 credit score, and it's cleaner, I would say.
Yeah, not a lot of $30,000 loans you still owe on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or recent lates are going to not hurt. Now, job stability, being on your job for a long time will help you.
Yeah.
Having some cash in the bank, even though we're going zero down. So IRA, 401k, that would help you.
Yeah, and they just, not that we're using it, but we just need to see that if anything were to happen, would you be able to repay it? So they call that cash reserves, and they typically on these 100%, they like to see 2 months.
The
cash
more
reserves.
you have, though, the easier you're going to get an approval.
Yeah, exactly.
With the bad credit score.
And also, there's things that I think that people hear zero down, like, oh, I can just go buy a car. Well, there's other costs that come into it. There's an appraisal fee. That's $600 typically.
You hear zero down, you're like, I don't need any money.
Yeah, you do. You typically do.
Well, the NC Housing you just mentioned, they give you $15,000. You can use it all towards your closing costs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if you didn't use that one, you got a little bit rougher and you're going zero down, you're going to need some help from the seller paying closing costs and negotiate in your deal.
Yep.
And we would help you find an agent if you do not have one that can help you find the house, show the house, and give you the ins and outs of making the right offer.
Yeah.
So zero down, that's still all good. So it's really, even if I have a down to a 600, I can still do it. The other one will kick you $15,000.
Yeah, 700 plus. Those
Pretty
are
solid.
For solid credit scores. But next are 3%.
Wait. There's one more. One we don't use as often, USDA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to buy in a certain area, but that's zero down, great loan, little bit of PMI, very little.
Just not, there's a map of eligibility. You plug in the address, and if it falls within
It's annoying.
the map, then
That's the
it's
annoying
not
part.
eligible. If it falls outside of the map, and we're good to go. So you can, that's USDA.gov. You can go and check it out.
You can call us too. We'll help you with it.
Yeah, there
We're
as
making
well.
it sound bad, but
Yeah.
it's not that bad. But it's not like you can pick any house you want.
Yeah, it's typically not in city limits, I would say.
So yeah.
Just outside.
Now what's funny, off of 150 back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
See, times change. The maps update. Off of 150, there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken out there. By
I've seen that.
they got a race pit around across the
pit,
street. Yeah,
racing.
the pit is across the street. There are tons of condos went in there. I was a part of helping out with the financing. We're a preferred lender there, offered a credit similar to what we're doing on some of these other listings we mentioned, like on 109 Trent Pines. But we did those all qualified for USDA.
Which is crazy because now they don't.
I know, it's right in the middle.
I would like to see now what, 10 years ago, down that side of Mooresville wasn't much. So, but now there's all kinds of stuff. It doesn't qualify USDA anymore. I do wonder what the appreciation of those have been.
Be
I
interesting
would
to
say
look
about
up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
And you get chicken. You can walk right over and get your chicken.
Yeah, you got all
Bucket of
kinds of
chicken.
options. I actually remember going over there with you when
KFC.
we were a kid, when I
Well,
was a kid.
Yeah, we had a sign out front and everything.
Yeah.
It was a real nice subdivision. Actually part of that subdivision, the back building, one of the back buildings was in a flood zone.
Oh, really?
Weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Nothing else around it's in a flood zone, but the back corner, I think it was like literal. If I drew a picture, and just cut the angle off of the corner of the house, that was in the zone.
Hopefully those flood maps update like the USDA maps update.
Weird, man.
Yeah,
they had to get insurance for it.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
But their neighbors did. I know, it's really weird. Surprised them at closing. It was not our intention by far, but it happens sometimes. We got to weed our way through it. So we're talking down payment. Zero down is obviously a beautiful way. So you don't need 20% down. We've also got 3% down. So we have scratched the surface on that one.
Several options with the zero down. We have 3 right there: USDA, NC Housing. Then we have 100% FHA. But first-time home buyers, I also would say, low down payment, I would say. Not necessarily, did you want to go into first-time home buyer? That's 3%. I was going to mention FHA is 3.5% down.
And you don't have to be a first-time buyer.
That's true. So that lower down payment.
FHA, though, it used to be that your mortgage insurance, the PMI, they call it mortgage insurance premium, MIP, instead of PMI.
Yeah.
It used to fall off like every other loan. Conventional loans, they quit doing that. So this is the life of the loan, PMI loan. Since they did that, unless you have to go FHA, I wouldn't bother. But the nice part is it's a government loan, and the interest rate's a lot lower.
That's
by
true.
half point. So there isn't. It kind of washes itself out now when you go USDA.
If you plan on staying in the house, it could add up, but in the long term.
Yeah, we're gonna dig into 3% down after this quick break.
Welcome back to The Plan. This is your co-host, Jacob Roche, and we were going into down payments and first-time home buyers. We have zero down options.
Three good ones.
Yeah, we got several down payment options at 0%. But now, if you're thinking put a little bit of down payment in, get some better terms typically when you put down, have a down payment. We can go as low as 3% down, first-time home buyer, 3.5% for FHA. FHA, you don't need to be a first-time home buyer, but you only can have one FHA per couple or per person, I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I'm not against. I bought my first house FHA, but I would not. If you can go conventional, I would go that way all day first.
I agree.
Credit score, debt ratio, they're looser guidelines to get you approved. So would I take it if I could get it? Yeah, because the rate's typically lower. The mortgage insurance is fixed. While it doesn't fall off, it doesn't change like different loans on conventional. The PMI changes depending on how much you're putting down.
Yeah, down payment, debt to income, things like that can all change with conventional, meaning higher, lower.
Yeah.
The better credit you have, the better MI you typically get too.
So 3% down, first-time home buyer. Let's stay. If you needed to go, so why would I go? If I'm talking zero down FHA, credit score may be the reason that we would not be approved. So then you would put 3.5 down, and then you may be approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why you take it that way. But if you had good credit and you put down 3% as a first-time home buyer, you're going to get better terms than any of those zero down loans we just talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
Just for putting 3% down. I know that's light, but it's $300,000. You're putting down $6,000.
And the reason why I think a lot of people wonder is because the investor, you have some skin in the game.
$9,000.
Yeah.
I meant 9.
What?
I said 6.
Oh.
Anybody's checking me. I'm doing my math in my head.
300,000. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean.
3% down. So yeah, you need the skin in the game. Drops down the interest rate. Drops down the mortgage insurance. As a first-time homebuyer, you have incentives on the mortgage insurance. You also we include some new stuff. You want to talk about that today? That's pretty cool stuff we just rolled out with the insurance.
Yeah.
And the first one was you get a free home warranty.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Included in our deal now. So if you got PMI insurance, not the FHA, but conventional, if you got PMI insurance, we'll give you a $1,000 deductible towards your deductible for the first 5 years.
Yeah, and that's
cool.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's great. Anything that happens in the first 5 years, it's likely.
You put in a claim and you got a deductible of $1,000. We got you covered.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Or you could pick something else. You could pick LifeLock, basically is what it was, protection, and that was for 5 years.
Yep. And then the last one was a home warranty. Is that what you said? Did you mention that one?
No, I didn't. Free home warranty.
Yeah, for appliances. Yeah, I read, and that's good for a year home warranty, I believe.
Those are all added in benefits for buying a house first time home buyer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Just through your mortgage insurance.
Pick one of those though.
Yeah, pick one. Yeah, just one.
It's gonna be nice to get all three. You can't pick them. Now they also get a website. Any of our clients get a website after closing. It has $7,500 worth of discounts on it, up to Average client uses anywhere between 800 and 1,200 bucks is what
But
we've seen.
it has some really good vendors there. 1-800 Flowers, ADT, Papa John's, Home Depot, things that you would actually need when you're moving into a house.
Papa
So
John's,
yeah,
buddy.
Papa John's.
A
Always get a
moving day.
pizza when you're moving in.
Well, and they got good discounts on it. I've seen good incentives that you can log on. You get a membership for that for a year and use as much as you want. So I would definitely browse that site as a home buyer. That's what it's intended for, to give you discounts for it for that first year. So that's kind of a cool thing. That's 3% down. Now, the next option. So if I'm a first-time home buyer, I'm asking myself while I'm asking you, is there a benefit to, like, if I'm a first-time home buyer, why would you put 5% down versus 3? I think nothing's better.
Yeah, it might lower payment a little bit.
Not much, man. We're talking
Yeah, I mean, that's what I
2%
meant.
down. That's like $8 a month.
I meant a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Starbucks me over there. I'll save that money. That's not a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of people, if you're not going zero down, a lot of these newly married couples think that, wow, for a $300,000 house, I need $9,000 plus closing costs. I'm going to be around 12, let's say. A lot of our clients have, as their wedding gift, they've requested money, so they've been leveraging gift funds from family, friends, to be able to purchase that.
Buy a house, putting the money down on it.
Yeah, so that in that case they're not getting higher interest rates with going zero down, like we were just
I
saying.
think you kind of got to look at, like, if you're stretching with your budget, with where rates are at in general right now, the less you put down, the more reserves you have to be able to handle a little bit higher payment.
Yeah.
While you are in the position to be able to handle it, you'd have more cash saved without having to put it down in the house. It does make it a nice option.
Yeah, you still have those cash reserves. It's not all being not every penny's going into the house, leaving you with a.
I would not want to, even if you see, we always qualify for more than what you want to buy, but you can't say that much anymore.
Yeah,
I used to be able to say that a lot. I don't think that's the right storyline. Like, hey, what do I qualify for? Oh, we can qualify you for more than you really want to pay back. That used to be the fact. Like, I'm looking for $500,000. I can get you 800.
Yeah, right.
Now it's like, I'm looking for $500,000. I can get you 449.
Well, I remember
it's not a lot.
When I had first started, rates were at 3.5. A client came in, she's making good income, qualified her for 600,000, and then she wanted to move or rent, or something came up. But anyways, she came back to came back to us to purchase the next year when rates went to 6.5, give or take, and she was at 450,000. And then she wanted a townhome, which also has an HOA in it, a couple $100. She was then at about 350 or below there, 300 to 350. So it about cut her buying power from $600,000 house, which is, I mean, that's a good sized house during COVID, to now 300,000 a townhome with an HOA, going from that 3.5 to a 6 rate.
You remember that we put a comic strip out on our social media. You can find that at fortheplan.com, but we put the "Don't Be That Guy."
Yeah.
Waited a year, and that, man, that cost her then.
It did.
Cost a lot on doing that.
Appreciation cost her an interest rate, mortgage insurance. Yeah, there's a lot of costs.
Well,
there.
And you can't even get the house you want.
They call it the cost of waiting. Yeah, exactly. You can't even get
Who's they?
the industry.
The people selling houses, the cost of waiting, it costs too much. 704-412-2727. Want to draw your attention to 4 listings that are on there, all with lender incentives from Element Home Loans. Be sure to check those out if you are interested in those. Also, searching for a house without being bothered, without being texted, without being called. You can go to fortheplan.com, download the Money Manager, the Mortgage Manager really is what it is, and that'll give you access to search houses as well as load your house and get the best AI for your property and what movements happen in the mortgage business, rates, costs, things like that will keep you up to date. So lots of stuff on the website. We've covered debt, we've covered divorce, we've covered some of the down payment. Is there a situation, going a little bit further with this, where clients will call in, they'll have 20% down?
Is there situations that come?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people do.
Yeah,
they'll call in, and it wasn't a trick question.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what are you talking about? No, but they'll call in and have the money to put down on the house, and I think it's important, right, to look at, especially depending on how much money it leaves you left over. Like, let's say you got your 20% down at $60,000, and when you're done, I left you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, call it $5,000, not a lot. I don't want to put you in that position as a lender. I would rather, I look at it like we got to have some balance there in case something happens to the house, air conditioner goes out, whatever it might be, who knows, loss of job, anything. Well, is there a way, and I know there is, to look at the comparison, and this is what I meant by being important, see what it looks like with 10% down versus 20 and leaving the other 10% in an investment CD or something like that at 4.99, secure for a bit, and see how your numbers look net worth in 15 years. Just you're not even having to put it down, especially if you can carry it monthly.
Yeah, exactly. And we can do that for you. When we do a consultation, we see what your goals are and we'll compare them to what you're looking to do versus alternative options to make it so that you're not having to put as much into the house because we'll have to qualify you one more time if you want to get it back out.
Well, and you think this way now, if you put, I got 60 grand, we'll go back to my example. I've got $60,000 and I want to put 20, let's just say I'm the difference between 40 grand or 20, let's say 30,000, half of that, 30,000 versus 60,000.
Yeah.
The payment on it, I'm telling you, man, is in the less than $100.
Yeah.
Less than $100 a month, and to have 30,000 in savings for less than $100 a month is a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm doing that off the hip. I'm pretty close.
Well, if it's about $100, you can take that 30 grand, spread it across the entire life of the mortgage, and then there's that.
All right, what do you mean?
Meaning subsidizing the payment, really.
Oh, to qualify or kind of be able
Yeah.
to afford more or help with the payment, keep it invested as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people are just trained that 20% down is the big deal, and it doesn't have to be, especially if you weigh out your numbers.
One statistic that I saw at the median down payment for first time home buyers is 6% of the purchase price as of 2023 from NAR.
That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Weird
number.
That's why I brought that up. But typically, it's like we were saying, it's 3. And then that's why I brought up the leveraging the family funds or gift down payment. Really, is because I did want to bring that up. Like why over 6%? We're even over the 5 that we were saying. Why would you do 5? Well, people are doing 6 on average.
Yeah, right.
So I found that interesting onto why go.
I would imagine
5%.
it's got to be a big blend of zeros and 20s.
0 to 20. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree with that.
The I forgot what I was going to say.
But I think
Zero
it's
down.
more zeros than it is 20.
Yeah, I would.
It's making it 6.
I would agree 100%. The anywhere we can help you out in the down payment side, running numbers, knowing your options. I just think that that's important. You look at like, man, I didn't know 30,000 only going to be $80 a month.
Yeah.
Well, you should. You need to know that, especially if you're investing in the house and how much is going to be left, and someone looking at your whole picture that you have available for you.
And the reason why we bring up down payment is that 68% of buyers report savings for a down payment is the hardest part of home ownership, or the biggest hurdle to it.
The easiest money you've made as a young investor right now is off buying your own house.
It's appreciation.
I mean, you're a good saver, but you're making money off the value of that house. And that's what happens when you end up combined and you don't have to do the 20% down. So we want to be here for you, help you with that. If you'd like a first-time homebuyer workbook, we've got that available for you as well. Different options on PMI, knowing the numbers. We have it all together for you. Where do you go?
fortheplan.com.
fortheplan.com. It's the number 4, or spell it out if you want. But we're going to leave you today. Come back next week. We appreciate you checking out the show, and we'll see you soon. Go to fortheplan.com. Have a great week.